correct answer. They are to Clarke and Mike only. There's no stealing in round one. Remember, you have 3 usages of the JTE rule should you need to hear a question repeated or you want to stall for time. That's why people use it. We're all adults here. We can admit that. We also have a challenge rule in case you have some sort of question as to an answer that we gave that you don't particularly agree with. We want to remind everybody out there to support the Patreon, and one of the patrons has a wheel slice. We'll talk about that as we get into round number 2. Mike Kalinowski, how you feeling?
Feeling good. Let's do this.
Okay. He seems shocked I even asked how he was doing. Clarke Wolfe, how are you feeling?
Full throttle, baby.
That's the Charlie's Angels movie, and it is time to SCHMOEDOwn. Crowd, you ready to SCHMOEDOwn?
Woo!
There we go.
Woo!
All right. The Angels have exited the building, except for the one that can get a matchup against the belt holder Sam Levine, and that is Clarke Wolfe taking on Mike Kalinowski. Ken, I will defer to you for the first question in round numero 1.
Absolutely. First of 8 comes in the category of animated. Animated. Who voiced Mulan's dragon companion in Disney's Mulan? You know, there was 2 years of my life that I thought a dragon was following me around.
Eddie Murphy?
Sure how to answer that.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pens are already down. Looking for answers starting with Clarke.
Dragon, not lizard.
Eddie Murphy is correct.
Woo.
Eddie Murphy. That's right. We're all tied up at 1 to start the game.
Early going, they seem stretched, ready to go. Our next category is in the world of comedies, comedy movies. And your question is, in the hilarious comedy Robin Hood Men in Tights, who plays Robin Hood? Oh, the crowd not liking that.
It's always my favorite part of the show, and the crowd is like, I own that on VHS.
Carrie Elwes?
I believe I do own this on VHS. Got a 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1 for Mike Kalinowski.
Carrie Elwes?
Very good, Clarke Wolfe.
Carry on.
I believe it is pronounced Elways as opposed to Yules. I heard somebody say Yules one time. Never talk to that person again. That person is my own mother.
That's right. Third question comes in the category of dramas. Dramas. Who played the title role of Kevin in the film We Need to Talk About Kevin?
Very serious film. I'm not sure how to make a joke.
My parents used that, just replace Kevin with Ken a lot.
You need to talk about.
Never saw it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Question?
Oh, look at that. Mike with his first JT rule named for the famous Ecuadorian bus passenger JTE. Who played the title role of Kevin in the film We Need to Talk About Kevin?
I will continue to laugh at that for the next week. Great improvisation by Ken Napside.
4, 3,
We give him points.
2, 1. Looking for answers starting with Clarke.
Ezra Miller.
That is correct. 3 points.
Michael Cera.
Incorrect. I also would have accepted Better Than Ezra, one of the greatest bands of the 90s.
Ken Napside is on fire, and Clarke Wolfe is as well. Perfect round in the early going. Horror thriller is your next category, and your question is, Virginia Madsen plays a graduate student who investigates an urban legend in which 90s horror flick? And it seems that they've already written it. Do we still have 15 seconds? You want to?
Let's just call it.
All right.
Looking for answers. Pens are down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Urban Legend?
Candyman.
That is correct.
Candyman.
And good usage of bees.
Yes.
Candyman.
Fifth question comes in the category of action adventure. Action adventure. Which Lord of the Rings actor plays Kirill, the Russian agent in The Bourne Supremacy? A little bit of a whoop kind of question.
Which way? You think you're zigging? You're zagging.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings. That's not an action adventure, although there is action and adventure in that fantasy.
5, and a 4, and a 3, and a 2.
I never saw it. Orlando Bloom?
With Clarke, we need an answer.
Lee Pace.
Incorrect.
Carl Urban.
That is correct.
Okay, so no perfect rounds will be had here today in round 1, and Mike Kalinowski, with the first misstep of Clarke Wolfe's round, is going to tie the game up as we move on to your 6th question in round 1, and that is, who directed, this is the category of directors, who directed the 1969 film Easy Rider? Is that the Ecuadorian bus passenger's nickname? Hops
No.
on the Greyhound?
Riding a bus in Ecuador ain't easy.
He spends most of his time there when he's not fighting crime internationally. Good at 5, 4, 3.
Steven Spielberg?
Repeat the question.
Okay, just got there in the nick of time.
Second
Just
one.
got there in the nick of time. The crowd is up in arms, but he got it in the nick of time. The question is, who directed the 1969 film Easy Rider? And I go to a 5 count in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's already used 2 JTE rules. Did he get the answer right, Mike Kalinowski?
Peter Fonda?
Did it, but no.
Incorrect.
I also said Peter Fonda.
Dennis Hopper.
Oh.
Dennis Hopper.
God.
Dennis.
Trust myself. Trust myself.
All right.
Trust me.
Question 7. Question 7 comes in the category of fantasy sci-fi. Fantasy sci-fi. District 9 is set in what country?
In what? Using an air of authority when you pronounce the W and the H. Like, what?
5,
Africa?
4, 3, 2, and 1. Pen's already down. Looking for answers. Start with Clarke.
South Africa?
That is correct.
Oh.
South Africa.
That is right. We're tied at 5. Tied at 5. Going to the final question.
And we move on to the last question in round 1, and it is provided courtesy of one of our very supportive patrons. Check out the SCHMOEDOWN Patreon to find out how you can join the tier to ask a question to the competitors. This one comes from our patron, Jake Hammer. He's not a character in the MCU. He's a real live boy, and his name is Jake Hammer. Thank you for supporting the show. His category is dramas. In the world of dramas, Jake Hammer's question is, Tom Petty has a guest starring role in what Kevin Costner drama?
Kalinowski's trying to pull it down. Clarke is thinking.
Kalinowski trying to run down a dream. Clarke Wolfe.
This
Maybe
is-
free falling.
This is,
She gets the correct answer in the ring.
yeah.
Even the losers can get this
5,
question right.
Totally
4,
guessing.
3,
Drafting?
2, and
Did this question
1.
wreck them, baby?
Oh, you're great. Starting with Mike.
He's a haggard man, so I'm thinking one of his apocalypse movies. Postman?
That is correct for
Good job, Mike. I said Waterworld.
Oh, good guess.
I thought he was the guy in the boat in Waterworld at the bottom of the thing.
All right. Well,
You look at that. Now
With
Mike
that-
Kalinowski, with that question, takes the lead into the great wide open. He goes, Clarke Wolfe, don't come around here no more. I'm just kidding. Stick around for round 2 and 3 because this is getting heated. Kalinowski, a 1-point lead over Clarke Wolfe as we move on to round 2, known as the wheel round. In round 2, each competitor is going to have 4 questions asked from a movie category on the wheel of fate and destiny, much to Clarke Wolfe's chagrin. You spin the wheel, whatever slice you land on, that's where the questions come from. You don't like the first category you spin, you are allowed 1 mulligan. If you don't like that category, tough luck. You got to answer the 4 questions. Each question is worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. However, there is stealing in round 2. If you're not sure the answer to a question, you can ask us to provide multiple choice options. Of the 4 selections we give you, one of those is the correct answer. That question becomes worth 1 point. Mike Kalinowski, you are in the lead. Would you like to spin first or defer to Clarke Wolfe?
I don't want to do this, but I will spin first.
Mike Kalinowski is going to spin first. Interesting here, Ken, because Kalinowski was introduced first, although he is ranked higher than Clarke Wolfe because Clarke Wolfe was nominated by Emma Fyfe. She chose Kalinowski, hence our reasoning to have her be introduced as the
Gotcha. Spin is in. Good
Let's just
spin
wait
for
for a long
Kalinowski.
spin to get that into it.
He turns his back on the wheel. That's a dangerous,
He doesn't wanna
dangerous
look at it.
game. The wheel, she is a...
It stopped spinning a long time ago, Mike.
Oh, we've got drama.
We've got
Drama. Do you want to stick
drama.
with drama?
Does he want drama?
Drama. Here's some drama about the choice.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That's the name of the category. as
He's
well.
going to spin again. He's going to spin again.
Spin again.
This could be a key decision. His back is turned. The
crowd
crowd
wants Bullock.
wants Sandy Bullock.
Crowd wants Bullock. What does Kalinowski think about that?
What does Kalinowski want to do here? It is going to go.
Could it be his category?
It is going to go to Spielberg movies.
Okay. Spielberg movies. He's got to take 4 questions from Steven Spielberg. Everybody knows at least a few good Spielberg movies, Ken, but can they recall all of them? Maybe the actors in them, the premises. There's so much magic in that man's career. Can Mike Kalinowski come up with 4 correct answers?
4 questions. All right, Mike, 4 questions in the category of Steven Spielberg. First one coming in. What was the first sequel
The Last
Spielberg
World.
ever directed? It's a sequel.
I like it. I think you started a trend there.
Sequel.
Have you seen the sequel?
It's The Last World.
I don't speak well much. 5, 4.
Temple of Doom.
That is
Oh, yeah,
correct.
that's true.
That's correct.
Stupid ads.
That is correct. I'm going to accept that. That's correct. All right, second question in this round. Who voiced the lead character of titular role Tintin in The Adventures of Tintin?
Jimmy Bell.
That's correct. 2
Wow.
points, Kalinowski.
Wow. Big Tintin guy.
All right. Who plays Tom Hanks's co-lead Amelia Warren? in
Catherine
The
Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
That is correct. 2 more points there.
Kalinowski
2 more points
feeling
there.
it in round 2.
Final question in this round, Mike. Who composed the score for Bridge of Spies?
John Williams.
That is incorrect for Steele Clarke. A 2-point steal if you can get it.
This would be a huge get for her.
Is it Marconi?
That is incorrect. Looking for Thomas Newman. Thomas Newman. But that is a great second round for Mike
Well
Kalinowski.
done for Mike. Did not want to check the multiple choice on any of that, and he found his way to 6 points, getting lead on classy Clarke Wolfe, who is ready to spin. She's got all the angels. Back, and here we go. There we go. Nobody has studied spinning this wheel more than Clarke Wolfe. She knows every launch angle. I don't know if she likes the wheel that much, but she respects its power.
You absolutely
Could it be
respect
horror
it. You
movies?
don't have to love it.
Ken, she wants horror movies, and Ken, is it going to get there? It's going to be horror! Whoa! Boy. Wow!
This is not a slam dunk, you guys.
There's so much magic that everybody at home gets to witness, and we just saw something here in our studio. Once she landed on the wedge of horror,
Yeah.
Mark Riley danced a jig not seen since Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Yeah, he looked like one of those people in steerage on the Titanic, dancing around. He was,
I died in the 9 days. So, Mark Riley is happy, but can Clarke Wolfe live up to the promise that she coming into this match with as one of the horror experts here in the SCHMOEDOWN? Clarke, you're going to get 4 questions from that category. Your first question is, who directed the 2013 incarnation of the film Evil Dead?
Oh, the same guy from Don't Breathe. The Mexican guy. I forget his name.
Fede Alvarez.
Yeah.
2 points for her. 2 points.
Fede Alvarez.
2 points, and she's on her way. In your next question, 2011's Fright Night. In that film, Charlie believes his new neighbor Jerry is a vampire. Who plays
Colin
Jerry?
Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
She's 3 points away from tying Mike Kalinowski here, Ken.
Yeah.
Clarke Wolfe will have the chance to take the lead before round 3 is upon us. Your next question, Clarke. Which 1987 film is about kids who saved the world from Dracula,
The Monster Squad.
and other classic monsters?
Fucking kidding me?
Monster Squad.
It is Monster Squad.
that's correct. 2 more points.
11 points. And your last question. In the world of horror movies, these are movies that Ken is not allowed to see. In addition to playing the iconic Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, actor Robert Englund also played which classic monster in a 1989 movie?
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, Phantom of the Opera.
She has the lead
That's
going
correct.
into round 3. She ran through that category.
Yeah, that's what she needed and wanted to do, and she did it. She succeeds in that round, but we still have the deciding third round coming up here, Mark.
In round 3, we are so close to being deadlocked. Clarke Wolfe with a 1-point lead over Kalinowski. Each competitor is going to give us a series of numbers ranging from 1 to 20. Clarke, you're going to give us your numbers first, then Mike will follow suit. Each one of those numbers corresponds to a movie category up here at our answer desk. Each question proceeds to have a greater value. The first question is 2 points, the next question 3 points, the last question is worth 5 points. There's no stealing, there's no penalty for missing a question. Clarke, because you are in the lead, you get to give us your numbers first. What would you like?
4, 12, 19.
4, 12, and 19. She went evens, then she went to odd, off the beaten path. Mike Kalinowski.
7, 14, 18.
14 and 18. All right. Mike Kalinowski counts his numbers.
14 and 18. I'll administer Mike's questions here. He needs this one. We'll kick it back to Clarke. It's a 2-point question if you can get it. Mike, here you go. You chose number 7. That is in the category of 80s movies, 1980s movies.
These are movies released in the 1980s.
All right. Who directed the 80s fantasy comedy, The Witches of Eastwick?
Damn. Oh, I knew that one. It's not Robert Zemeckis.
5.
Jonathan Demme.
That's incorrect. Looking for George Miller. George Miller.
Ooh.
Correct there.
Hell of a guy. I like that guess.
All right. Move on here to your 3-point question. You chose the number 14. That corresponds to the category of Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. In Edge of Tomorrow, what color are the large alpha mimics that have the ability to reset time?
Black?
Color are they?
Correct.
Orange? I only saw that movie once.
Blue.
That is correct for 3
Yeah.
points. That is correct. Sends it back over to Clarke Wolfe.
Did Mike Kalinowski know that, or did he guess it? He's never going to say.
There's only
Doesn't
like
matter.
7 colors in the
Alright.
world. You pick one, I think.
Roya G. Biv.
What if he had gone with fuchsia? Been having a good laugh about it. That could have been the next best bit. As it turns out, it actually is a correct answer. We go to Clarke Wolfe. Clarke, this one is worth 2 points. If you hit this one, we're going to be tied with Kalinowski. You selected number 4, and that corresponds to disaster movies. Disaster movies, and your question is, name the 2000 film that stars Nicolas Cage as a professor who links a mysterious
Clarke,
system
knowing.
of a time capsule to past and future disasters and sets out to prevent an ultimate catastrophe.
I love that movie.
Knowing.
It is
Yeah.
Knowing.
Correct for 2 points.
My friend Styles.
And so now we're going to stay with Clarke Wolfe.
Oh, stay with me.
We're going to stay with Clarke Wolfe because we're tied. She has a 3-pointer to answer. And we're going to give you that question right now because, Clarke, you selected number 12 for your 3-pointer in the world of animated movies. These movies that are drawn. This Academy Award-winning actor voiced the character Buster Moon,
Matthew McConaughey.
owning Koala in the 2016 movie Sing.
Whew.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, Hugh Jackman?
No.
Incorrect for
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Has one in Academy Award. Yeah, and he is adorable as that koala. I know there's lots of suspense. He is so goddamn cute as that koala. Back to the match.
All right, we are going to go to Kalinowski for his 5-point question. You chose the number 18. That corresponds to the category of Matthew McConaughey films.
My God.
Ken, did you know he played the koala in the movie Sing?
I've heard rumors. I've heard tell.
Now, Mark
I've
Ellis.
heard so.
So
All right, 5-point question. Send it back to Clarke to tie. What fellow actor also directed Matthew McConaughey in the 2001 thriller Frailty? There's a 5-point question for sure.
Oh.
Somebody locked the studio doors in case Count
Damn it. I knew that one.
All right, we do need an answer.
Bill Paxton.
That is
Yeah.
correct for 5 points.
Good job, Ray.
There's it back to
That was
Clarke
great.
Wolfe.
Good job. All right.
All right, Clarke. And your question, Clarke. 5 points. It's Ty Kalinowski, descended to sudden death. You selected number 19 for your 5-pointer, and that corresponds
Horror.
to holiday movies.
Crap.
And your question is, what actress plays the girlfriend of Bill Murray at one time in the movie Scrooged?
Karen Allen.
Yeah, we're going to
Damn.
You know, it's a #1 contender match. I feel like Bill Murray at the end of Scrooge, but we're not ready to roll the credits just yet. We're going to overtime. It is overtime. Very exciting here in the studio. You can feel the tension. You can cut with a knife. This leather jacket has armpit stains. That's how nervous we are. And Clarke, Wolfe, and Mike Kalinowski played a great match thus far in overtime. The whiteboards are back on the table, as are the dry erase markers. The way it works is we're going to play a lot like round 1. A question's going to be asked to the field. You write down your best attempt at an answer. Get about 15 seconds to answer it. Then we'll ask you by name to reveal your answer. Please show the whiteboard to the camera at the same time you verbalize it in the microphone. If you get it right and both competitors succeed, we move on. If you both get it wrong, we move on. If one competitor gets it right, the other one gets it wrong, that is the ball game. That is their winner. Ken Knapsack will be administering the first question.
All right, first question. Who played Mr. Popper?
Jim
in
Carrey.
Mr. Popper's Penguins. Didn't pop my peas when I said that.
Alliteration. We're at
Jim Carrey.
The hard way.
Bill Shakespeare.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens are down. Clarke started.
James Eugene Carey.
That is correct. Jim Carrey. Mike.
Congratulations, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Not since the Seinfeld episode where Elaine was told Dustin Hoffman was in